Welcome to Matchday 8 of Division 2 of the Simulation Soccer League. We are nearing the final matches to try and decide who will be going up and who will be staying back down. I'm Sock, joined here by Omniscius with 3 matches on the cards today. What are we going to be looking at for tonight?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to watch the matches tonight. I haven't commentated in quite a while, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it, especially with it being match day 8. So there's a lot on the line. I know there's sorry, Inner London's in first place right now, but there's also Perry in second, Capstad in third, and I believe Perry and Capstad are playing today, so that will probably be the match I'm most looking forward to watching.
Yeah, we will, of course, be leading off with Kapstad at Paddy. Both teams same on record, but the 11 difference in goals. There's Paddy plus 10, Kapstad minus 1. Of course, both are fighting to try and stay ahead of Buenos Aires, who could end up stealing them if they are only able to split the points. And of course, if Buenos Aires win that match against Sol Mythic, that will end our card. And then we have that. Yeah, Buenos Aires will be up on 15 with Paddy and Kapstad, tied on 14 with 2 to play, but still dependent on results, of course. We do have the midpoint, the first versus last team, Montreal, yet to win. Into London, started out 5 straight and have had a draw and a loss. They are definitely looking like they have fallen out of favour, but of course they did have new manager Gavin Millar step in for Donnarumma, so may just be getting used to the change in tactics. But pivot back to the first match that we have, Paddy and Kapstad, both teams, as we mentioned, 4 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses. Who are you looking for as kind of the target players, if any?
Um, I would say, it definitely has to be my man Leo. Um, he's probably the best striker in the league right now, and definitely the best striker on Perry.
Yeah, of course, Paddy running that 4-1-4-1, while Kapstad have opted for the 5-2-1-2 with Lachlan O'Rourke and Ariane Tokyo Nagatoro Maradona at the front. One thing notable about Leonidas Papadopoulos is he will try and be extending his lead on the Golden Boot race, as he's currently leading over Kay Clemens and Evan Vanderstoff by, I believe, 3 goals. With 3 games to play will be a tough ask to catch.
Yeah, he has 10 goals. To Clemens' 7. Um, and in 7 games, that's a pretty good return. So, more than a goal a game there.
Yeah, 1.5 even, as that shot
Oh,
comes in, and Kapstad suddenly off the indirect free kick finds superior athlete in the air, and Kapstad looked to hit the front early with a beautiful trap run. Athlete just got through and got his head to that at the edge of the 6-yard box.
and that's kind of his name. He's just the superior athlete in this situation. And he really rose up and headed that in.
Really done well there to put Kapstad in front, especially away from home here in France, but not even looking to fight back here. Here's Cortez, it's a rebound, and it's in! Who else? Leo Papadopoulos has suddenly equalised not even a minute after Kapstad had scored.
Yeah, no, Leo is such a dangerous goal scorer. He's honestly a little too good for this league, I think. I think Perry kind of really are hoping to go back up into the first division because they definitely have some really talented players that can compete in that league, and if they make the right changes, they can probably stay up.
Yeah, well, they do still have to make it there, of course, but a win here would definitely solidify that as Pellicini shot over the top.
Yeah, I mean,
Papadopoulos.
I know my 2 favorites. I definitely thought. I know Inter London definitely was, in my opinion, like a top 3 team. But I actually picked Seoul and Perry to just go back up. So I was really surprised by Seoul's form this season. But I think Perry still looked pretty strong. Um, and I definitely think a little unlucky with
On a
the
second here, again, just a little wide there. Yeah, so he picks Sol and Paris to go up, but Sol obviously a bit of a downturn, but Paris, I mean, they've had their target man who has basically been the entire reason why they've been able to compete in this division. Is there anything else you think that they need to improve on to perhaps stay up for next season or even challenge for a title?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think it's really hard to get relegated because you want to try to keep that activity up. But how can you do like a full rebuild? And I think for the most part, Perry have kind of maintained that. So I think if they can just add in maybe, one or two really active people, it could probably really help them in the long run in the short run.
It is here. The stoppage time, 2 minutes has been added on. It looks like one final attack and a great save there. Boy, Barthel just getting up to the top shelf to block that attempt. And while we head to the break here, one apiece after the two 11th minute goals. Any thoughts on what's transpired thus far in the first half?
Yeah, honestly, at first I was gonna, before that last play, I was gonna say I thought Perry, were kind of lucky to concede that set piece and look kind of more dominant, but I don't know. I feel like Halfstad kind of had a bit there at the end too. It's a pretty even game and kind of shows that both these teams are really trying to fight for that promotion. There's no team um, really giving in to the other here.
Yeah, neither side would really be willing to give an inch there. Of course, we did have Manny Camavinga, I believe it was. Sorry, Abdoulaye Camavinga get carded. Confusing with Manny Calavera, entirely unrelated. That's definitely been one of the signs, though, for Kapstadt as it looks like we'll get the second half underway. As they just want to continue fighting. Looks like no changes for either side, They were perhaps lucky to escape with that win over London in Matchday 6 when I believe it was Bob dives in and lost the ball, and Lachlan O'Rourke basically took a one-on-one and ran it home. Do you feel like Kapstadt can make the most of these chances with O'Rourke, with Nagatoro Maradona, and potentially put one in?
Honestly, I'll be really honest with you guys here. I know when Kapstad, you know, kind of were. I feel like they were very underrated last year. A lot of people weren't expecting anything from them at all. And in some ways were disrespectful. And I think maybe that fueled them. Because this is a good team. And the fact that they're still here competing for promotion despite maybe a lot of the naysayers is kind of like, I don't know, I guess.
Chance, goal!
Oh!
Papadopoulos off the corner!
Wow. That's a brace for a
It's perfectly found.
I mean, despite that, I still think that, great.
There it is, Jay Brisky.
The game of set pieces.
Corner in. Yeah. An indirect kick, a corner goal thus far. But perhaps we just need a penalty to really settle things with that. But still, Papadopoulos found on the edge of the 6-yard box by Jay Brisky, who I feel like has been kind of a dark horse of this Paddy squad. Of course, he's not going to show up that much on the stat sheet, playing it right back, but he has still been able to show some good flair when he's had the opportunity. Average match rating 7.52. Going to be his third assist, but definitely been a big workhorse for them. And here's a chance here for O'Rourke. O'Rourke a shot and over the top there. Like Buffett could have been able to perhaps get his hands to that, but can't avail.
Yeah, no, I I think Jay's definitely one of their big pieces. He's one of their best defenders, and he can also help.
These balls like this as Papadopoulos comes in and Lua being able to get himself involved there. Puts that one over the bar.
Yeah, it kind of. Well, I was about to say he can produce offensively too. 3 assists isn't too shabby for a defender. So especially since this is second division, so that's only from 7 full games in, eighth game in now.
Yep.
So that's
Yeah.
pretty good return. That's almost an assist per game there.
Yeah, well, half assists per game.
Yeah, sorry.
That's for late running. O'Rourke has scored! And they've called it back. O'Rourke didn't time his run right, and good work there by the assistant referee. Called it out well. Didn't really have time to put the flag up to stop the action, though was noted, and a good call on that occasion to deny that one. The Cubs will be left reeling there. They thought they had their game-tying goal, but ends up falling by the wayside. There's now an opportunity though for Carpshaw once again here with only 20 minutes left in regulation. However, Athlete had it taken away by Twilight Sparkler. Now Paddy have launched a counter-attack. Here's Papadopoulos, lone man down the left flank. Knocks it back now for Sparkle. Back to McAllister. Also look to haul that. Finds Papadopoulos again! That's the hat-trick!
Wow.
And
is that off?
That one, was that called offside?
Yeah.
Yes, it was! Back-to-back disallowed goals, and yet he
Yeah,
tried
that's quite
to
offside.
sneak through the back door.
That's quite
Just
offside.
wasn't able to claim his run there.
Twilight Sparkle, Twilight Sparkle has been another, core piece of the squad. Actually, not thinking of it, I know they were one of the pieces that Perry acquired in their first draft. And they're still here, and they're one of the main players of this team. I would say.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they've had from the team. They've had a good striker and some good wing backs to support them. As they also do have that midfielders, Peter Oak and Grant Horvath, perhaps players that don't get as much love as they should, though might be able to do so. Now here's an opportunity for Carpshaw. They're producing 9 minutes left. Nagatomo might have done a central run by Krostis. That short side shot. But Larson tried to tap and couldn't quite get solid contact. And eventually was cleared by Paddy. Where it comes right back to the throw-in. Here's O'Rourke. Opportunity saved Bartlett, and that will go for a corner.
Yeah, that's a situation where you don't dribble across your net and you just kick it out.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Too many risks as Javela able to head that corner away, and now Paddy launched their counter-attack. Papadopoulos down the left flank, but a good slide tackle from Abdullahi Kamavinga. Possesses him. An opportunity here. Another free kick. Brisky whips inside, but over the top. Another free kick given though. Brisky once more. Who's he found? He found Washburn on the short end rather than just trying to go over the top that time. All that to Washburn. Yarvala. Brisky's found open on the left flank. He's swapped flanks really. Now a header. Lewis tapped it back. It's another rebound goal. And that's a hat-trick for Leo Papadopoulos. He's converted yet again. And that's twice it's bounced off the hands of Kazenga Lua, and Papadopoulos has capitalized.
Leo with the hat-trick, and safe to say the Raiders are probably going to be good. Some big goals coming in the next 3 match days, but Leo leading the way for his team, both on the field and on the touchline.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess you could do that if you're having to be injured, but he hasn't been injured thus far this season and has been relatively okay thus far. As I looked at perhaps one last insurance goal, but Risky didn't get his cross through there. And that will do us. Paddy perhaps getting away with one there with the 2 rebound goals, but I mean, Leo Papadopoulos, they don't ask how, they ask how many, and his hat-trick was huge in the grand scheme of things. Being able to convert half of Paddy's shots on target that he had into the net.
Yeah, I mean, it was a big game for Leo, and I thought the 10 goals in 7 games was impressive, but 13 goals in 8 games is even more impressive. So big win for Perry, and obviously it's in some ways 6 points because not only did they get three, but Capstad got zero instead of potentially getting 3 points. So it's a big win and puts a gap between the two teams.
Yeah, I mean, for now, Paddy go 4 points clear, I believe, thanks to Buenos Aires being only on 12 points instead of a 13. But so they will at least know that this game, it was a very crucial game in terms of their promotional race. They can be satisfied with that, especially knowing that at the very least now, well, they would actually go temporarily top of the standings due to them having goal difference advantage over Inter London coming into this match. Of course, they're now on plus 12, having scored 21, highest in Division 2 by a long way. Only Inter London has 14, Buenos Aires also 14. That, I mean, on a per game basis, that's basically rivaling the best of Division 1 as well.
Yeah, I mean, they have the talent to compete in Division 1. Just gotta fill in some of the holes. But they have the talent. They have, I know Horvat's an S1 player, and they have a lot of their core still from their initial draft. So I think if they just plug in those holes and obviously win the next two games or do well enough to manage a promotion, then they have every right to stay up in the first division next season.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see perhaps if Inter London can maintain the pace coming into this next match. If they do face off against Montreal United, and Montreal, it's honestly just been a season to forget for them. 1 point from their 7 games at a minus 12 goal differential. They've just not had it this season.
Yeah, it's been a season to forget for Montreal and a season to remember for Inter London because not only are they first in the division, but they're in the semifinals of the SSL Cup against Hollywood FC, who I'm sure they probably feel a little hard on to be drawn against, but nonetheless hoping to make it to the finals.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just for the cup, draw of a cup at this point, of course. Into London do have probably the next best striker, if not for Leo Papadopoulos and Kay Clements, another of the front men that they've had. As we will look to begin, looks like Montreal United have decided to stick with that 4-1-2-1-2. Of course, AJ Williams and Easton Chu will be being in that centre back role as looks like Inter London have gone to that 4-2-3-1 with Hannah Solari and Walter Pinkman both starting. They aren't usually starters for Inter London. Jerry Svici on the bench for this one, as well as Scud Muffins. So perhaps some trialing against what's considered the lowest team in Division 2 to see what can go on and what they can produce. Of course, Solari is one of those players that hasn't scored a goal from despite playing decently up front, but on the other side, I think they just need to look for Casual. He's been kind of their main focus, even with Jake Justice being the main guy at the front on occasion, but occasion actually, I realize he's not part of a team list as TCA whips one in and Hannah Solari puts it over the bar there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's actually a good time to switch it up. Take it somewhere. There's only so many games in a season, and you want to try to give playing time to all your players. So why not give some of your lesser heavy players or some of the players game time against some of the easier opposition in the league.
Potentially so, I mean, Solari hasn't had many opportunities to play. He only has been subbed on 3 times, or at least has played 3 halves of football. Which, not exactly what you want from a decent depth player, though, perhaps I'll find more uses for Solari later on down the track, including this one, as we did see earlier. Gavin Millar probably had the closest chance of the game. So I hear the chance of Clements, but Brian Duke, a great save there. Moved definitely to his left to save that one, but only able to produce a corner kick.
Yeah, I read an article actually by Kate Clements earlier. Opening up about leaving Inner London and after they got relegated, so they could stay in the first division with Seoul and gain relegate with Seoul, and now they're back with Inner London and trying to finish what they kind of left, I guess, and trying to stick with this new project. And they've done well. I mean, they're the top goal scorer and top of the league and in the semifinals. So I think Kay Clements has done a lot to come back and kind of redeem.
Yep. It's brought down. That is a penalty. Tom Pedersen takes out Kay Clements. Letitia will be the one to take this one. Another of the managing group of this one. Letitia converts.
And it's in. Great goal by Letitia right in the corner.
Yeah, first penalty that he has converted, I believe. Well, not sure if it would still be at least his first goal of the season. Has been a front man in the past. And that time beats Brian Duke. Tom Pedersen just brought down Kay Clements and ends up paying the price. As that penalty will be just a difficult one for them to stomach. Montreal just can't seem to find any sort of luck with what they've had. Go back here from this corner. Letitia out to Pinkman. Pinkman looking to get by Wartooth. Pinkman tries to whip it in for someone, but DeFleur and Clements, neither of them were there. But Letitia there again to scrap up. There's Yore. Yore inside for Clements. Got Duke out of position. Letitia goes to Pinkman, but Duke regathered himself and does well to hold on to that one. Another opportunity here. Clements out for Yore. Yore tried to find the floor, but just misjudged the pass. The floor now back inside. Finds Pinkman. Header in. Solari's deflected by Mathieu, but Kay Clements was ruled offside. I don't think he was involved in that play. Nonetheless, they've already decided to put on another attack. Here's Papastafopoulos. Another player that perhaps might be considered for a golden ball is Ioannis Papastafopoulos. Even though he might not even be the best Greek player in the game. Here's Mathieu. Oh, dear me.
That own goal. Oh, my gosh.
Yep. That's tapped in. Heath Mathieu blocks the pass, but it comes off the inside of his boot. Back past Brian Duke, who never really saw it. And suddenly it's 2-0 London. They cannot catch a break.
Ooh. Yeah, I agree with what you said earlier. Been having a great season and kind of showing a trend that we saw last season. And I think it's
saved by Duke.
Continuing this season in the first division, but now I really think we're seeing a heavy reliance on wing backs, and I think they're some of the best players in the league. I mean, across both divisions.
Yeah, as that last highlight of that attempted corner kick will take us to the break. It has been downhill running for Inter London. Montreal yet to manage a shot on target, though. A penalty and an own goal. Had to say Montreal have kind of made their own bed to lie in, though. Gavin Millar did receive a yellow card. So perhaps not all doom and gloom for Montreal just yet, though. Being down 2-0 as a result of their foul and then their own tap-in just has to be stinging for them right now.
Yeah, I mean, especially the second goal was pretty unfortunate. Although I think it was a pretty clear penalty.
Yeah, I mean, there was no disputing that. I mean, Pearson never even got the ball, just took Clements out, and there was just no real reason for it, potentially. I mean, perhaps he just got to trust himself a bit more often as we move to the second half. It looks like I have decided to bring Kay Clements off, so he will finish this game on 7, so won't be making any progress and will pretty much seal up that golden boot. As we mentioned before, with that hat-trick from Leo Papadopoulos. If you didn't miss that earlier, you can, of course, rewind back to the premiere, I believe, to catch that if you're just joining us now.
Yeah.
As we move through the second half.
6
A
goals.
yellow card for Tokyo War 2. And here's Solari!
Oh!
Solari finally has one! Hannah Solari gets up there and puts a header up of all things. Solari short in stature, but shows some good reach on that occasion. I have no idea how she was onside there, but maybe get a look at it here. Oh, just barely Pilsong playing back.
Oh my gosh.
And puts everyone into London onside.
The fan.
Oh, that must sting him.
That was incredible.
Yeah, just tough positioning really. Is that one they get an indirect free kick, a penalty, an own goal, and they've already had a corner and another indirect free kick. We've scored in all types of ways. As here's that's a bad tackle from Gavin Millar. Let's see what the word is from McDonald. That's a second yellow, and Inter London is down to 10 men, and it's their manager.
Oh my gosh, that's jokes. I mean, you know, it's unfortunate for Inter London, but I think it's kind of a little too late for Montreal at this point. They barely managed anything against London, and I don't know if this will really change that much.
Well, I mean, if they can score any kind of goal, this might be the opportunity. Here's Xavier Valorian! And there's one! Perhaps it won't change Omni. They've been able to turn a reversal of fortune now.
They still need to get some more, so I really don't think they.
Yeah, it is great. Just to send Valorian through after tap back past Pino Noir. Just sent Valorian free. I did mention, who came on for the excellence, I did bring on Jerry Svici, the Romanian on for him. Now into London. Just took a bit of a counterpunch there with only being down to 10 players. Now to try again. There's the final Tissier on the flank. Now an opportunity for Jerry. He's hit the post.
And I mean, even a man down, still good time. So it's interesting to see, despite conceding, that they're still trying to score themselves.
Well, I mean, that might just be from managerial instruction, as here's Casual on a little bit of a run here. He puts his shot just wide. That could have definitely changed momentum if he just tucked that into the bottom corner. And now an opportunity for Montreal once again. Calavera, that time the header. Well saved there by Tony Yeboah. Yeah, I mean, perhaps they're just not changing their mentality very much because they just lost their manager, who would usually be able to give out their instructions. But Gavin has gone to the tunnel and will not be returning for this one. Now here's the floor. Get by Pedersen. Pedersen, of course, did concede that first goal vicariously due to that penalty. It's back to Letizier. And get by Calavera. Try to get to the Jerry, but a good hoof from AJ Williams sends that one clear. Now back with Papastafopoulos. Can the wing back, who's been so instrumental for them. Can he find another player, but that time headed away by Pedersen. So maybe he'll try to look for the floor.
So much speed from Papastafopoulos.
Yeah, he's very fast. As that time crossing for Solari, tried to go for a second, but Duke was there and was also just hassled by War2, so perhaps wanted to chest it down and couldn't do so. Now into London. Just looking to try and preserve this lead, perhaps. As with 4 minutes left, Jerry to take this corner. Whipped inside for dives in a lot. He's got his rebound. Bob dives in a lot. Finally gets his first. It's been a real great time to get your first goal if you're an Inter London player. Bob dives in a lot, gets his. Hannah Solari got hers. And now they've taken what will be the dagger.
Yeah, I mean, I know center backs always love when they score. And I know center backs do, so it's always nice when you get to reward your center back with the goal, especially from the corner.
Yeah, that's usually what you have them up there for, those tall bodies that can get up in the air and try and send one home. And now Montreal, with stoppage time looming, looks like 3 minutes on the fourth official's ball, will try and get one last chance and dives in a lot. Playing 2 ways. Blocks that shot from Muttley Abadalonga. And it will go for a corner kick. 3 minutes has been shown, so I'm now no longer an unknown factor for them as that header goes over the top. Looks like Inter London might look for the insurance goal here. Firing out to Papastafopoulos, who did receive the yellow card. It's back to Pinkman, and referee Nathan McDonald just says that's enough. That will do us. Into London with a comprehensive victory, even with the red card issued to Gavin Millar. They really just tried to play Montreal off a pitch, and I think they did so very well. You know, they had great performances pretty much all around.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's why I wasn't really too worried after they got the red card, because in some ways it felt like it wasn't gonna make that much of a difference, because it felt like the result was already kind of, the dagger was already, kind of put in. But
Yeah.
it's been an unfortunate season for Montreal United, but hopefully they can try to rebuild this off season, and it looks like London and Perry are kind of giving themselves some distance between the other teams this week.
Yeah, well, they absolutely need to. Of course, they do still have one team to worry about in CA Buenos Aires. Of course, they are going to be playing now against Seoul Mythic, and against Seoul, they're pretty much playing for pride at this point, now that they know that promotion has been sealed away from them. Of course, they don't really know that right now. We're just showing the broadcast, not quite in chronological order, but we do have knowledge that Seoul will not be able to make it. But Buenos Aires still might be able to mount a charge here if they do get a win, though any other result will probably rule out any chances of promotion, being that they have been the only team not to draw a game, but I do have 4 wins, 3 losses. They need to try and mount something now.
It's the anti-draw Alonia team. I find it really weird when teams don't draw like at all.
Yeah, I mean, if I only need 3 more games now, they've already got through more than 2/3 of the way there, and perhaps that's a way that they will be able to get themselves a drawless season. Of course, they have been finding themselves probably the best keeper of Division 2, well, debatably, in Koshe Oakdown. And they do have a pretty prolific goal scorer in Edwin Vandersloff, who is third in the Golden Boot race, for probably just racing for second at this point. Does also have Antonio Governo in support, who has 5. So those two have kind of been the main reason why Buenos Aires, well, 3 if we include Oakdown rather, they've been in contention. But on the side of Seoul, they've really just had Danny Paul as their main highlight, and goalkeeping has kind of been an afterthought for them. They're the only team to have run 2 keepers thus far, with King Kong and Mason Walstead.
Yeah. A little fun fact, actually, talking about wins and draws. Did you know that in season 1 there wasn't a single draw?
Oh,
And
well, I guess
I complained about that, and then I ended up in my first season as a manager having more draws than wins or losses.
incredible.
So yeah, it's kind of really random how the draws can happen. Because I mean, watching football in real life, I don't think it's very often that you see a team not draw at all.
Yeah, well, that's what happens with the Simulation Soccer League is early on, Seoul looking to try and put one through, but Muller had that one blocked rather by Immortali. Here's a crossing from Man, and Muller tries to get another one, but he went over the top. One player that I've really also tried to look for in terms of just creating chances, perhaps, for Buenos Aires will be Mike Checker. I know he doesn't usually show up that often, but again, we mentioned the wingbacks earlier on with into London's Papastafopoulos, but he might be one to create more chances. Hasn't really been shown much lately, but now he's got to put himself on the defensive end. As he is Sol trying to get an attack here through Bud Light, Large Box McGurk. He's Aloisi! Aloisi finally has broken through. Sol have a goal, and it's through Barocca Aloisi, the main front man, who's finally got himself on the board this season.
Yeah, I mean, McGurk is another player to watch out for, as you can see there. But great goal for Seoul, and I know that will be a huge morale boost for them. I know they're out of the promotion race, but I do think for a team that dropped down.
Good shot there, but saved by Oak down. Danny Paul again getting involved.
I think for a team that dropped down though from the first division, they want to, try to at least end the season strong and have that momentum to carry them forward next season.
Yep. They're definitely that, just because you're playing for pride doesn't mean you won't be able to spoil other people's parties. You see the shot from Mann, but just a flick on that no one was able to communicate properly and ended up just spilling free.
And sometimes playing for pride, it creates a culture to, instead of just giving up or, getting, unmotivated, you keep going. You just keep carrying that momentum through.
Yep. There's a shot by Yates that was blocked. Yates again a shot, but that time blocked by Holmberg.
Big block.
Well there by Kiel Holmberg.
Yeah.
Yeah, Buenos Aires look to equalise, but Cole Mertz able to outreach Siegwald of Katarina. Not able to convert that chance, though it looks like they'll try and regroup and regather everything for a next opportunity. Gorkoff looks like we'll just play it back here for Oakdown and settle things. It comes back with Paul. Yeah. One that's underrated is if Katarina does good work to stop Michael Muller from into that one. Is now here's Yates, finds Vandersloff. Vandersloff fouled by Mertz. Looks like no card though.
Tactical foul there by Mertz.
Yeah, perhaps lucky not to be booked there. Of course, we already have one booking with pork tenderloin on Sol as times cross there, blocked by Tilda's Function. And in for Aloisi now finds Danny Paul again, but that one. Got a good bit of English on it, but got it to come back through. Another yellow card given out there, that time to Ronaldo de Silva. 3.5 to go in the first half, and the attack breaks down for Sol, and they'll look to just extend Governo straight on through. Gosh. Governo a chance, great save, King Kong.
Huge
finally
save.
Able to make one there.
Huge save, but that was poor defending. They just let that go.
Yeah, just didn't really think that the kick was going to blow by them, and yet it did. And so then they had to regroup. But thankfully, King Kong there to the task. And King Kong hasn't had many opportunities to make those strong saves. Only has 13 goals conceded in 4 matches, which is very difficult for him. As that kind of makes another one. I believe Vandersloff as we go to the break. And pretty even across the board, though Sol has definitely been playing harder with those 9,002 yellow cards.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a tough game, but like I said, I think despite them not having anything to play for in terms of promotion, I think Sol want to end the season strong for their own sake, for their own pride, and it's good that they're giving Buenos Aires run for the money because they're a pretty good team and they're full of pretty talented players. So yeah, I mean it's a good result for them so far, and definitely I think they have 5 points on the season, I believe. So a win here would be huge.
Yeah. And it would also really spoil the party for Buenos Aires.
Ooh.
There's a foul from Paul. That would be likely a third yellow card here. No, look, just a warning there for Danny Paul. Just not to push his luck, though. Again, perhaps Sol escaping with yet another non-booking. Definitely been trying to play hard against Buenos Aires, give them the lumber, and perhaps Buenos Aires aren't showing that they can handle it. Now, Sol will look to attack here. It's time, trying to make a run down the left flank, but pretty much had no room. Just went back to Paul to give himself some space and got it well. Now back to Danny Paul. Over to Mann. Go to Muller. He's playing it slow for now, trying to find an option. Eventually find Holmberg. Holmberg on the left edge, back in for De Silva. De Silva back inside for Muller.
Oh.
Good block there, Mike Checker.
Good pass there by De Silva, but just a little unlucky for Muller not to hit it in.
Yeah, well, good defending by Mike Checker as well, just to make sure that nothing fell inside. As
Wow.
now
Good
here's
ball.
Mann once again, but Siegwald of Katarina with an absolutely beautiful clearance. Making sure that goes nowhere.
That was a good switch, though. Play there.
Yeah, doesn't really feel like Buenos Aires have had much traffic this second half, though they might be able to find one here with Vanderslov. No, that's broken down. Now sends through Aloisi via De Silva. Over to Muller. Try to look for Danny Paul again, but good intercept there, Mike Checker. And they look to clear it. Tenderloin, however. Kendall does want something making a run. Burke now for De Silva. Eventually finds Holmberg. Holmberg pressured here by Adam Knight. Inside now for Mann. De Silva intercept there by Tali. Clear it. Only took Paul Tenderloin. Now with Paul. That one was blocked out again by Mike Checker. Stops the threat but maintains the corner.
Yeah, no, Sol are maintaining lots of pressure. Coming out hard the second half and kind of, unlucky not to get a second goal, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't feel like Buenos Aires have really had much of any chance to try and score one here as time is not on their side. They need one here. They have to then gain points looking forward to the rest of the season, but they just aren't finding anything, though. Paul has officially been carded. Won't be any kind of saving grace for them now, though. It is only a yellow. His Paul's shot. Oh, wide. Yeah, of course, Sol's last two games are Paris and London. So Paris and London. So yeah, that to look forward to. While on the side of Buenos Aires, they'll have Montreal and Paris. That to look forward to the final two match days. As it looks like there's not going to be much added time left for Buenos Aires to try anything, though. Might have to shut down this opportunity. Here's De Silva. Back inside, looking for Aloisi. Went over the top there and ended up on the head, or the feet of Mike Checker, who clears it out. And they look to rush up. Here's Vanderslov. Vanderslov, an opportunity. Great save.
No.
King Kong narrows
Big
the angle
save.
beautifully, but makes it a corner. Gorkov. 48 seconds left, and time ticking down. Gorkov inside, but Hugh Mann clears it. Knight has to run out to keep that one in. Gorkov now for Knight. Buenos Aires, they need something right now. A huge upset this would be if Sol can come away with the points here. Will be their second win of the campaign. Knight crossfinds no one, and that might do it.
Yeah, I think that's it. Bully's going to take his
Have to wait for
time.
the whistle, though. Not quite down to the 92nd minute yet. Kong. There's Alpha Holmberg. It's going to try and run it downfield. There it is. Sol with a huge victory over Buenos Aires. Thanks to the first goal of the campaign for Baraka Aloisi. King Kong. What a game for him. Earns player of the match honours. At least for Sol, that will be a huge victory and basically narrows the promotion race down to 3.
Yeah, it was a huge victory for them, and I think like I said, it'll help them, into next season.
Yeah, I mean, we did see that they really tried to play hard there. Ended up in the book 3 times with 13 fouls. Who did definitely control more of the match. They had 7 more shots from Buenos Aires, over the equivalent to Mountain Target. Only one able to find the back of the net, though. Definitely feel like King Kong did well against Buenos Aires' clear-cut chances. Try to make sure that anything that fell for Governo got cut down, and that's the question whether Antonio Governo and Edwin van der Sloot are really playing up to their standard. Of course, they do have Aurelio Buendia on the bench. Was not used in this match.
Yeah, I believe.
Yeah, we do finally get to see the ratings, and yeah, didn't seem like the front end played pretty poorly.
Yeah, no, Vandersloot, I mean, I think is Buenos Aires' top goal scorer.
He is, yes.
And I think will be a little disappointed in that last chance, because that was a pretty good chance, probably the best chance that they had all game. But also kind of interesting that Buenos Aires is relying on the goal scoring prowess of a center midfielder rather than a striker.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's played up front beforehand, but they played him at the centre midfield position. Perhaps they would have been more suited to Eric Tildes function or Aureliano Buendia
Although,
playing Van der Sloot out of that wing. But Tildes function didn't really produce much, as we finally get a summary and we get to look at the standings. Into London will remain clear and have almost secured promotion. Just need one more point off for Kapstadt to drop one for them to be able to secure it, and a win in their next match would almost certainly be a title securing one. Though can't leave anything to chance there with Paddy hot on their heels, 3 points back and tied on goal difference. Kapstadt, however, could still snap at the heels with that loss. Definitely could doom their opportunities, and Buenos Aires as well. I have to say, will be disappointed going out of that one. Only 2 matches to go here, and the promotion race is heating up. And it could be sealed next time up, so make sure you tune into that one. In the meantime, for Omniscius and the Simulation Soccer League, I've been Sock. We shall see you next time.
yeah, it was nice commentating again, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.